20 some odd years ago, these shiny clean trains would have been covered top to bottom with graffiti. A Technicolor subculture had emerged from the streets of New York by kids who were more or less forgotten by society.
I wanna bomb everything, bomb, bomb, bomb.
Graffiti writing is ego gratification. We're drenching the city with our names, you know?
Because it's not a crime to me, it's my art. It's art crimes.
I deal with crime. If you place a mark on something that you're not allowed to, you've committed a crime.
Oh, trains. I'm a subway painter, period.
I wish I lived during those times where, you know, you could just go in this train yard and do it top to bottom on a train, and that will run throughout the city and people will see it, and that's ultimate fame. And it's not like that no more.
When graffiti first appeared around the city, it was everywhere. It felt like a language that was being conveyed to other kids. And I was like the perfect age. I was 12 in '73, 13 in '74, and that's when I really first got the bug. And I would try to imitate what I had seen. And then it just evolved from there, where eventually I got the balls to go out and actually try my hand at like some kind of little tag style. It wasn't until '77 that I eventually stumbled on the name Zephyr, and then I stuck with that, and I stuck with that ever since.
Who got me started in graffiti? Well, when I was in middle school, like 7th grade, which was a couple of years ago, my boy put me on. He was like, you know, this is graffiti. I mean, I always knew what it was, but I never thought about doing it, you know? So I got a tag, I started writing, and the rest is history, you know?
Mine, Mr. Mind is how I started. Yeah, and I started repping it with the markers. I'm officially a street bomber, mind games.
Well, everything's about bombing now. You have to bomb. Everything's not like the way it used to be. Everything was planned out. Everything was, let's go do this. We have our sketches. We're going to go hit this train.
That's how it was back then. You racked your paint, you drew your outlines during the week, and then you went and you represented your piece.
You see, way back when, the graph game was completely different. Graffiti was glorified in society at the time. There was little, if any, pressure from law enforcement. Today, you get caught doing graffiti, you've committed a felony, and you'll be arrested without hesitation or mercy.
Okay, you want to do the quickest thing possible when you're on the street. You ain't want to be there forever, so you're going to do something quick, and you're going to do something hot.
Vandal Squad wasn't formed back then.
Yeah,
they had their time.
nothing to worry about.
Artists had their time to go creative and do whatever they wanted to do, but now, the terrorism is going on right now. It's Osama bin Laden's fault.
Yeah, we can't even go near the train lines.
And the enemies are outside, you know? They see graffiti as something insidious, something to do away with. The Vandal Squad, the authorities want to lock us all up.
Who are the cops? The cops are nobodies. I'll be out the next night.
The original Vandal Squad was formed in the early '80s. Transit Authority realized that people weren't riding the subway. One of the reasons they felt was that there was a lot of graffiti. People felt unsafe. You know, I'm asked a lot of times, you know, oh, haven't you seen graffiti that's artistic? I try not to get involved in the artistic nature of it. I'm a police officer. I'm not an art critic. Most of the officers in the unit are very immersed in the subculture. They kind of walk the walk, talk the talk. We know the language.
For those of you who aren't familiar with the lingo, here goes a quick lesson. Graph is short for graffiti. Bombing is the act of going out and doing graffiti. Getting ups and catching wreck are terms for getting your work out there and known in the graph scene. Once you start getting a lot of ups, the next goal is to go all city, which is getting up in every borough and just about as far from home as possible.
To tell a kid who's 15 or 16, hey, listen, if you do this, you know, you can be considered like this great person. The fame that you get from the subculture, that's a very intoxicating thing.
Oh my God, he's on the 1s, he's on the 4s, he's on the 7s, he's also on the BMTs, the INDs, he's on the A's, he's on the E's, he's on the F's, he's on the double R's, he's on the L train.
I wish I could hit the trains, I want to hit the tunnels, I want to hit everything I possibly can in the next couple of years.
The myth of graffiti is that it's like this, ghetto youth who can't express themselves any other way, when the actual demographics show that they're usually upper middle class and middle class kids who probably just have a little too much time on their hands.
Yo, you know what? What are you gonna do? My house got vandalized before. What are you gonna do? You clean it and there you go.
We certainly can do more, and we'd like to do more, but I think we have a good handle on the problem.
Are you asking me, do the authorities have graffiti in control? Look around. As long as there's graffiti, the authorities don't have it in control.
I think if we didn't address it at all, if there was no vandal squad, if the police department didn't consider it as serious as they do, I think that it would be a lot worse than it is.
I really think that as long as there's a system in place, there's going to be somebody willing to risk, beating the system.
But the graph game, I gotta keep it alive, because otherwise it's gonna be dead, because it's been going on for so long. Without kids like me and Jack Zola, it's gonna be dead.
I see another 30 years, bring it on.
I appreciate good graffiti, everybody does. But this is just slap work.
The graffiti is very ugly, make the city look so
Do I
bad.
think it enhances the area? No, just the opposite.
The city should arrest the people who do it.
Because every time they clean it, somebody comes along in the middle of the night and does it all.
I've been living here so long, I don't even notice it anymore. It's just something you learn to live with.